Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers. Welcome to a new Doctor Who review. So in this review, I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who Flux, Episode 5, or should I say, Chapter 5, Survivors of the Flux. So before we get into this review, I'm going to say, there's going to be spoilers. Yeah, definitely there's going to be spoilers. So if you don't want no spoilers, and then I suggest click off this video, go and watch the next episode of Doctor Who Flux, and then come back, so there will be no spoilers. So, continuing from after last week's episode with the Doctor being turned into a weeping angel, is she a weeping angel for good? No, she just got transformed into a weeping angel so they can transport her to this kind of space station somewhere in between the old universe and the new universe. And what do we find out what's in this space station? An Ood. And where does the Ood kind of take the Doctor? Well, to the one person that we found out that found her way back in the last series, who basically is Tectalum. Now, Tectalum. So as you know from last year, all we heard from the Master is Tectalum, and now Tectalum is in this episode. So the old woman that we see way back in, not last week's episode, the episode before, with the Doctor, is there. Yeah, really? How can I actually say that? I mean, the woman who found the Doctor is in this episode. Is it a good thing? Not so much. I mean, everything that the Weeping Angel knew last week about the Doctor and the kind of the timeless children's story arc has now been put into a fob watch, or a watch design that contains the memories of what's been took from the Doctor, because the Weeping Angel did have it. And the Weeping Angel has been took out of that woman, Claire, and put into this kind of like fob watch. So if it opens, the Doctor gets her memories back from everything. Like the Doctor says, how many lives has she had? Has she had dozens? Has she had thousands? We just don't know how many there is until she gets her memories back. Hopefully, that's probably by next week's trailer, which I will talk about at the end of this video. And looks like we're going to get all the answers we need. So how many Doctors have there been? How many incarnations of the Doctor have there been? I mean, we've met the Doctor from 1963 in William Hartnell's incarnation. Now, there will be a review coming out either tomorrow or Tuesday, because I finished watching season 1 and I'm just about to start season 2. So there will be a review coming out on season 1. But how can I say this? It's kind of a big sort of... It doesn't really do much this episode, apart from this weird alien that can transform an alien essence into somebody's body, and then it makes him like kind of die, and then it goes into him and it absorbs it. Units in this episode, we see Unit in 1967 where they find the TARDIS, as well as we find out that Kate, they're still in present day. We have the return of Kate Stewart, who runs Unit in the Capaldi era and the Matt Smith era, so she's back. We get the mention of Osgood, which is something that we're just like, oh. And then we know Kate Stewart is alive because she's gone into hiding. So, yeah, this episode is kind of like a bit of mixed random sort of things. Where you got Yazdan and that professor from last week's episode doing some sort of mission. I don't really know what they're doing. I'm just trying to find evidence. When Yaz plays a message from the Doctor saying, I hear you can call me from the console room, so I'm going to go now. Jodie's Doctor, I really think she's brilliant in this episode, because when she comes across Tectalum, I didn't expect that kind of reaction that she sort of has in this episode, which is just something I really enjoy, because it means the Doctor... You know what I'm trying to say here, because the Doctor doesn't know anything about the Timeless Children arc until last year when the Masters... I even like that callback. Is it true what everything the Masters told me is true? Yes, it is. I really like that. This episode, I really do enjoy, where you see the slight swarm and his sister and the passenger kind of turn all the people they took from that planet in last week's episode, absorb them so they can get hold of a time log and teleport themselves to where the Doctor is, and they killed Tectalum. So she turns into dust. The Oods, don't even know what happens to the Ood, I can't remember. I was just so shocked when they kill off Tectalum and the Doctor just needs the answer she needs. Besides, we find out that the division is still going ahead, because Tectalum is the one part of the division. She created the division, Ooh, that's such a big shocker. Did we have a theory about this? Well, I probably had a theory about it. I'm going to say I always thought since the start of the episode that the division's got something to do with somebody from the Doctor's past. I never thought it'd be Tectalium. I would have thought with the big reveal of it, like who created the flux and everything. I actually thought it was the Master. I thought this was going to be the big return for the Master, but no, it's not the return of the Master. It's the return of Tectalium. She's the one that created the flux so the universe can die and the Doctor can just, until the Doctor interferes by throwing her TARDIS into it in episode 1. Which is a kind of a great message, isn't it? Yeah, this episode I find really, really good, actually. I really enjoyed it. I like the callbacks to Unit, where we see the old style of the Unit uniforms. I really think they got the Unit uniform wrong, because when we get into the John Pertwee era, they're not even wearing the green. The one thing I've noticed is that, because it says 1967, and they're wearing the wrong uniform, because the uniforms for Unit was basically beige. It was like a beige colour with a beige tie, with a beige cap saying Unit, that we see the Brigadier wear in his tie. But there again, the Unit was founded after the Yeti invasion in 1967. But where we don't even know where the Unit days are in for the Pertwee / Tom Baker era, because some evidence says it's set in the 80s, where some says it's set in the 70s. It's very, very, really, really bad mixed match here. And then this just says, oh, it's 1967, and Unit's about. I mean, yes, okay, it does make sense, but they did wear a beige uniform in the John Pertwee story, and I think it was the same for Patrick Troughton in season 6 in the Invasion. But they're wearing the normal combat uniforms that we see in the 70s. It makes no sense, even though it's supposed to be 1967. And Unit was founded in that year after the Yeti's invasion. So, just more basically really bad dating stuff for Unit. Once again, just to throw at the Doctor Who fans. So, people are there going, oh, this must have happened in the Unit days. Oh, wait a minute. This is 1967. Where does the John Pertwee era go into it? Where's the Tom Baker era? What about the Troughton story, the invasion? Because the Doctor said, the Brigadier Timon said to Liz Shaw, we was helped twice by one man. It's been several years since we had met that man, and it seems now we found him. Now, I did enjoy that kind of espionage. I like the return of Unit. I like seeing Kate Stewart. And the mention of Osgood. Talking about next week's episode, that fantastic trailer that we had at the end of it. I mean, I absolutely loved it, because we have got 3 returning villains that we have seen already in Doctor Who Flux. The Santarans returning this episode. They're going to invade the Laparan fleet, where we have the Carvanista with that bloke's girlfriend, Bao, something like that, at the end of it, helping him. But then, of course, when you get to the next time, you have the Santarans. We see Cybermen again, as well as we see the return of the Daleks. Wasn't expecting that. I mean, I really wasn't expecting the Daleks. I really wasn't. I don't know how to feel about that, bringing the Daleks back. I mean, last time we saw the Daleks was early this year in Resolution of the Daleks, so why bring them back? You had one story with them. Now you're bringing them back into Doctor Who Flux for the final episode. I mean, and we've still got 3 more specials of Jodie Whittaker's era. So I thought we were going to have another Dalek special. But no, the Daleks are in next week's episode. So I can't really say how I feel about that one. I'm absolutely wrong. My theory was the Doctor was going to face off with the Daleks, and then something else in the next special. Then in the final special, a big massive battle. So, yeah, that's the one thing I can say about that one. I really enjoyed tonight's episode. I really think it's great. I'm really looking forward to next week's. Santarans, Cybermen and Daleks. You're just throwing everything at classic Doctor Who fans. I mean, the Daleks first encountered William Hartnell's Doctor, and they fought the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th War, 9, 10, 11 and 12 and even 13 Doctors. They've been it from the very beginning since 1963, the Ducks, because their very first episode was on the 12th of December, 1963. So, really, for the 58th anniversary of the Daleks, because this episode is being broadcast on the 5th of December, just a couple of weeks before the big 58th anniversary of the second serial of Doctor Who, which is the Daleks. So, that's kind of cool. Then, of course, we have the Return of the Summon that fought against the first, second, missed the third Doctor's era completely because he was stranded on Earth. Then you got the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Not too sure about the 8th. I don't know if they encountered him in Big Finish. War Doctor haven't. 9th Doctor has now, because apparently he's encountered the Race of Summon in Big Finish. 10 definitely has. 11 has. 12 has. And even the 13th Doctor. So, Summon have been in it since 1966. So, it's kind of a good way to see them. I mean, after the episode, not last week, the week before, where you just see Summon not really do nothing. I'm hoping we get to see them be used properly for next week's episode, where they've got big stuff. And then, of course, the Santarans was introduced in 1973, on the 28th of December, during the Time Warrior, which was actually broadcast in 1973 to 1974. And the Santarans have been in it 1975, 1978, 1985, and then 2008, and then of course you've got the Strax stuff going on from 2012 up to 2014, which was the last appearance of Strax, and then of course Santarans again from 2021. You know, so you've got big, massive, big villains of Doctor Who. I really think after last week's cliffhanger, the Weeping Angels was let down. I mean, after this great massive build-up from last week's episode with the Weeping Angels, and which is absolutely great. I really love last week's episode. And then you just go straight into this episode. It's like, that's it. The Weeping Angels was just there, transporting the Doctor to Tech Taylor. It's like, what? But to be honest with you, I'm really enjoying Doctor Who Flux. I know this is like the 5th episode. We're coming into the final episode next week. But I really think the writing has really improved it. I'm absolutely enjoying Doctor Who Flux. So let me know in the comments what you think of Doctor Who Flux Chapter 5. The Survivors of the Flux. Let me know. Please do like, subscribe and share. And have a great day. And welcome to the new subscriber. Subscriber who has joined my channel today. I hope you enjoy my videos. And I hope you enjoyed this one as well. So thank you for watching. And have a great day.